So tell me what we could expect from this one.
What you can expect from this fourth installment of the Final Destination franchise is all of the thrills, all of the suspense, all the scares that has been the earmark of all of the movies, but with an extra added bonus of high-def 3D.
How is it working 3D with this?
Working in 3D was really cool because it adds an entire new toolbox. Working in 3D is really fun, and it's really interesting to apply it to a movie like The Final Destination. It's an interesting tool in your toolbox as a filmmaker because it's not just about character, it's not just about dialogue, it's not just about suspense, it's about making the audience feel like they're literally living that moment. They're immersed in the scene. And this technology, married with this franchise, delivers the goods.
Did you think when you did the first one you would be here for a fourth one?
Let's just say that when we made the first movie and called it Final Destination, who thought we'd be here 4 movies in, given the title? But I think that because the movie is about something everybody has to deal with, which is their own mortality, and that invisible force, you wonder if it has an impact on your life as you move through it. I think the movies have been successful because it speaks to that strange part of deja vu that everyone experiences, and you bring with it out of the theater that very second.
But I think another reason why is because your deaths are just so freaking awesome. How do you come up with them?
Well, the death sequences in Final Destination really do stand out because we set them in arenas that you or I might find ourselves in, our bathrooms, our kitchens, maybe a grocery store. And if you can take the mundane and invest it with a real sense of malevolence, you've got an opportunity to create a sequence that will be absolutely a showstopper.
Out of all your deaths from all 4, which is your favorite?
You know, you're asking me to name my favorite death is like trying to name my favorite child. I'll say this though, I think the opening to the Final Destination is fantastic. I think in Final Destination 2, little kid getting squished by the glass is just so special. Oh gosh, Mrs. Luton in the kitchen in the first one. There's so many. I think that it's one of these things that makes fans go back and back to all the original films to bone up for the Final Destination this weekend.
Do you think we'll get a 5th one?
You know, I think that we're trying to sort of close out this franchise in the best possible way by delivering great 3D set pieces. If we have an opportunity to make another movie, it'll only be because the audience had so much fun with this one that we've earned the right to even talk about it. And I hope we have that right.
Have you figured out a sequence for the 5th one?
We have not figured out a sequence for the 5th one, but I will. Maybe it'll be set at a red carpet line.
Are you afraid, how'd you come up with the concept for Final Destination to begin with?
The concept for the original Final Destination was generated by a guy named Jeffrey Reddick. And he actually worked at New Line, the studio that's released all these movies. He was an employee. He came up with it based on a failed X-Files script that he wrote, and he said, I can make this into a feature. New Line bought the script. We brought in Morgan and Wong to do a rewrite to direct, and that's really where it came from. It was actually a homegrown thing amongst true genre fans.
Now you are a true genre fan because I remember in the first one, everything was named after different horror directors and stuff along those lines. What can we see in this movie?
Well, there's a lot of things in this movie that refer to the first 3 movies. There's interesting fan-related things. The characters have last names. Nick O'Bannon is after Dan O'Bannon, who's a very famous genre writer-director. And all of the characters have similarly themed names, and the fun of it is to sort of look up and click onto it on IMDb and say, hey, that person directed all these cool movies that I'm a fan of. So I think we are really fans of the genre, and that love of the horror genre reverberates through all of the Final Destination movies.
And what else do you have coming up?
Right now we're working on this Disney project called The Pet, which we have David Silverman, who co-directed Monsters, Inc. and directed the Simpsons movie. This will be his first live-action movie. And there's another movie over at CBS Films that is Disturbia Was Their Rear Window for teenagers. This is David Fincher's The Game for teenagers. So it's a really cool, sexy thriller designed to really propel the audience to a new place.